Alright, this is the sample video for NWS assignment to show my friends Praveen and Dinesh. Okay, the first thing that we do is we need to connect this client VLAN, this client VLAN, and this client VLAN to this web server. So what we do is we go into Finance, go to web browser, type in IP address of the web server, which is 172.168.10.3. Finance, we type in 172.168.10.3. Click go. Yeah, page. Let's do the same for engineering and also sales. So to do this, we configured this web server on the HTTP service. We edited the HTML page, the index.html page, which is the default page. We changed the words from the Cisco packet tracer to welcome to the company site, and we changed the heading a little bit. Next, we need to put and get files to the FTP server. So we close this, we go to command prompt, type in FTP and the IP address. So here we are trying to connect. So for the username, we have already set up a username account on the FTP server, which is for users. Username is user and the password is user. So we type in user. So as to perform this, I've already created a file on the FTP server, and the file name is testfile.txt. So we're also going to get the file testfile.txt. This is test. Second, files on testfile1.txt. As you can see, the file is copied properly. Reads it and it transfers in 0.054 seconds. So we quit this. And we see the directory. Here is the sample file, testfile1.txt. So now we're going to upload another file. In this case, we're going to upload this file as samplefile.txt. Then we log into the FTP server. Command is put sample file.txt. There we are, the whole thing. So for question number 2, we will need to connect sales and engineering client workstations to the web server using the DNS through HTTP and HTTPS. So for HTTP, I'm going to use engineering 1. Type in, as you can see, I already named it companysite.com. So here we go, HTTP www.companysite.com. There we are, the same page that you will see when you go into the IP address. And for sales, we will use the HTTPS. HTTP NWS. There, it's the same. So to do this, we configured the IP address inside the DNS with a record. The first record is called www.companysite.com with the address of this server, and we created a CNAME record which creates an alternative link for the record called companysite.com. So this enables users to log in to visit the website without typing www in front of the URL. Next, we will need to check email and send email from the PCs. On the email server, we can see that there are 3 users, and the domain name is mail.company.com, and this is also registered on the DNS as a record. As you can see, this IP address links to this email server's IP address. So now let's try. I'm going to the finance department is not able to connect to the email because it does not have DNS service. To email, as you can see, this already has an email. We configured this with user1 with the email address of user1@mail.company.com. The incoming mail server is mail.company.com. Outgoing mail server is mail.company.com as well, and the username password will be here. So I'm going to delete this and this. So we're going to compose a new email directed to user2@companymail.company.com. Subject would be welcome to the company. Click send. And send is successful. Now, to find this is the user 2. As you can see, it has the same configuration with the difference of the name, email address, and the login information is also different. So to receive the mail, we click receive. There was one unread mail before this that we deleted, so we shall delete this. And the mail form that we just sent just now has arrived here. As you can see, company welcomes you. Thank you. So on entering one, you might be able to see this reply. So next up, we are going to do check whether these 3 VLANs are able to connect to each other. So the first thing we will do is to ping the sales and engineering PCs from the finance PC. The IP addresses are listed here. This will be 192.168.1.2 and so on. And this is 1.192.168.2.2 and so on. is 192.168.3.2 and so on. So the first thing we'll do is open up command prompt with FTP and we will ping. First thing we will ping is engineering 01. Engineering 01 should be 192.168.2. So as you can see, it shows destination host unreachable. Compared to normal blocked or timeout requests, this route itself is blocked by the router, so it is unable to reach because an access list has been placed to deny access to the engineering. So we shall ping the sales department as well, 192.168.3.2. Ping. It's the same thing. So for engineering 1, we shall ping 192.168.1.2 and 3.2. Access is working perfectly. And lastly, the sales 192.168.1. Is this 2? And lastly, 2.2. As you can see, the reply is coming from 3.1, which is the access default gateway. So to do this, we did replace and standard access list on the subnet, on the sub interfaces that contains these 3 VLANs. The first one is fast Ethernet port 0/0.10 to deny IP addresses from this group of VLAN and this group of VLAN, and the same thing from these two. To do this, we go into the CR command line interface, let's enable, and we type configure T. So what we did was we created as you can see this is linked to the access group 1, access group 2, access group 3. This is linked to the standard access list. Standard access list denies and permits. It denies all 3 of this, or 2 of this. For the access list 1, it denies these 2 types of IP addresses, 2 groups of IP addresses. So from IP address ranging 192.168.2.0 up to 2.1255, it will all be blocked. And for this one as well, any IP address other than that will be permitted. Same goes to IP access list 2 and 3. To do this, the lines that we use are, we must first enter an interface. We shall use the interface that is not in use, which is FS0/1. It is not in use. So the first thing we do is we type out the access list. Number would be 4 because there are 3 access lists available already. So we shall do permit any this is how we build the access list. So we go back to the interface. And we shall type IP access group number 4 and out. So that should permit all IP addresses. So after this, next we will need to show the layer 2 securities implemented in this VLAN. So all the port securities and the layer 2 securities such as CDP we have been disabled, and trunking protocols and VLANs have all been configured in this port. As you can see, the VLANs, there are 3 VLANs available on this port. There are VLAN 10, VLAN 20 and VLAN 30. They are accessed by these 15 PCs right here. So what we do is we enable this and we show the running configuration. As you can see, the interfaces have all different securities. The first thing that we're going to show you is the access VLAN switch part. This is done by doing the commands switch port access switch port mode access. Of course, this will be done inside the interfaces, but as to see that as these ports are already configured, so I will just demo it. So that will be valid mode. Then we do switch port mode, switch port access to whichever VLAN that we desire, 10 for example. So that would allow the port to access the VLAN. So other than that, there is the port security, which we place the IDS on, which is to allow only one MAC address on each port. So if a new computer, so to say, is changed, or the computer has been removed and forcefully attacked and changed by another user, an unauthorized user for example, they will not be able to connect and intrude into the LAN. And there is no CDP enabled, is disabled to prevent VLAN hopping. Then BPDU guide is also enabled, port fast is enabled, and some control broadcast is enabled at level 70. So this means to say that once the 70% of the bandwidth is used on the entire server, on the entire network, the port would be shut down, because that would avoid us from having a DOS attack. And also an overflow attack. Other than that, the ports linked to the router, Ethernet 21, and to all the other switches are all in trunk mode, so they will not be accessed by any other. They cannot be changed. The modes cannot be changed by other PCs. So trunk mode is on and no CDP is enabled. So show switch mode. Next, we are going to look at how the FTP admin accesses the FTP server with username and password. So from the engineering, we shall into FTP 7.6.10.3. So the username for the admin of FTP would be FTP admin, and the password. So what are the commands that we can see when we press shut? And there's directory. You can see all the files. These are the files that we uploaded just now. So what we do is we delete these two files.